Another actionable game here for the Pinnacle Winter Series, morning series, of course, morning games. With me is Swoj, with you is myself, Over. And we're about to see MOUZ NXT versus Astralis Talent.
Exactly, just like Young Ninjas, we have an opportunity to see what 3 out of 4 teams, academy teams, and well, some better than the others. Especially talking about MOUZ NXT, as they, for a good part, I would say, didn't really count as an academy team, even being in front in the world rankings on HLTV, in front of their A team, right? So yes, they lost a couple of their strongest players, or their strongest player to the A team with Torji. Advancing to the MOUZ lineup, but then again they have some strong players nonetheless, and then on the other side we'll have Astralis Talent. For MOUZ NXT, a couple of no names, interesting stuff now with MHL actually coming in. It will be a Polish team, as they'll have Suki Shane and MHL representing Poland, then Zershan and JDC. JDC, we've seen him stand in for Katowice. Zershan got a mention, I believe, in the top 20, shout out by many of the top 20 players. So even though I haven't seen him play that much, there's certainly a reason why all those pro players marked him as a possible top 20 in this year. So yes, they lost Torji, but then again, this MOUZ NXT team is out of the all academy teams, they're, I would say, by far the strongest.
Almost 100% absolutely the strongest. I mean, JDC, he has proven himself at Katowice, absolutely, as you said. He's done a splendid job at standing in. Of course, we have Zershan, as you mentioned, the Israeli, but my eyes would be, even though Torji is no longer a part of the crew, my eyes are still here on Suki and Shane. These two guys that I've been following for a long time during their past plays in Isa Kobors. We had quite a few exploits they were able to pull off, and hopefully will see the continuation of their quality as well. And then, we come to the man himself, MHL, a guy that's been a part of the Polish scene for a long time. And he used to be a part of that AGO lineup that was quite legendary back in the day, that gave quite a few people a little bit of a scare. Now, he didn't join initially when they had as much success as, we kind of praised them for, but still, he did a great job. In any case, Astralis Talent, the team they'll be facing off against, we kind of mentioned this previously. They had a few ups and downs. They certainly are a strong team when it comes down to the raw talent that they have. So, there's a lot there, but unfortunately, it's experience they're lacking, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they have Vigo, Berzer, Fester, Mister, and Altex. They've changed players here and there, so I believe since the creation of Astralis Talent, it's only Altex and Vigo remaining from the original roster, but for sure Fester, who recently came in, or is one of the newer players, is definitely their go-to guy. Fester, who I believe qualified for FPL for some time now, even had his chance to play in various international teams before joining Astralis Talents, but with being a young Danish player, this is probably the place to be. They have a pretty good coach, I would say, behind them, although I'm not sure if they've supposed to swap places. I think Trace will be coaching Astralis, and they have Avi now as their coach, but looking at the Veto, we'll have Overpass Dust to remove Mirage and Nuke. To start it off, Inferno being banned out by MOUZ, and that will leave Vertigo, unluckily, if you ask me, to be our decider.
I kind of don't like Vertigo as the third and final one here, not gonna lie. It feels like it's perhaps a step in the wrong direction. The Ancient ban definitely rings true here for Astralis Talent, though. It might come at a little bit of a closure, but in essence, you want to avoid Ancient when you play against MOUZ NXT. Though nonetheless, I would say this Veto does overall favor MOUZ. Like, no matter how I look at this, with Mirage, I mean, Mirage is a classic bug map, right? You can't really take anything away from that. So Astralis Talent have a good chance of perhaps taking quite a few rounds, maybe even winning it. But even then, when we go on to Nuke, Astralis Talent are really gonna have to bring out the big guns. Some sort of a different idea than what we've been seeing so far. And yes, MOUZ and Nuke don't really go hand in hand. They've had 3 losses out of the 3 maps they've played officially, but I can assume that they've let it go into the pool due to them basically switching out, or at least potentially looking to play this map even more than before.
That's pretty much I would say, one of the weaknesses, or maybe the only weakness that MOUZ has. That's the map pool. No more talks about the maps. It's time to go. It will be Mirage to start off the best of 3. Astralis talent having the chance to pick the side, and they will, of course, choose to start from the CT side and going for all Kevlars. No utility for the CTs.
Yeah, that's a surprising choice. Usually you see at least a diffuse kit and perhaps a P250 or something of the like. But then again, you know, I can't blame this. Kevlars are also quite useful when properly, kind of utilized, aka, you know, when you fight together. But here comes the push towards A. Smokes and Molotovs are not available as much as you would like them to be, but Exertion is already bringing it home. JDC and Shane pushing it to CT, taking control of that vital area. The bomb going to be planted on towards first box default, but it is the damage that they're already dishing out. And look at this, Voyage. The round is already over before it even began.
Yep. Interesting, like you said, interesting choice to go for Kevlar on the CT side in the pistol round. I don't like it on any of the maps when you don't invest into a smoke or a defuse or a couple of flashes and a defuse, but especially on Mirage. I feel like you play post-plant on CT side on Mirage so many times that utility and that defuse kit can definitely come in handy, although with how the round played out, I don't think it would have made any difference. With MOUZ NXT taking the A side by storm, I don't think utility would have done much there for Astralis talent, but this smoke might stop him, or at least buy some time, mister. He just needs to be careful if he's gonna cross behind the smoke. There is, more often than not, that gap below it, and JDC is looking at it, but they haven't spotted Mister yet. He goes back. This is a risky game. He has been surrounded by MOUZ NXT players. The rest of the team is back on CT, and this round, even though it's a 5v4, it's already looking lost.
Yeah, I mean, the CTs have no business trying to remain here. Perhaps it would be much more prudent to just save the Kevlar, save the weapons that they have. You know, you can utilize it in the next round. Unfortunately, Suki will not let them get out of this one, and neither will Shane. Kind of liking what I'm seeing. Simple, easy, clear-cut, and precise. That's what MOUZ right now are. The odds speak for themselves, as I said earlier. You know, Pinnacle, of course, our betting partner, presenting us with the odds. And as far as I can see here, you know, even in the pregame I mentioned that I do favor MOUZ. I really do. I mean, Astralis talent, they're going to have to really do something big, either individually or team-wise, to be able to save this game.
Yeah, I would most likely say individually. Even though I'm sure they have plenty of resources to outplay MOUZ in the tactical department as well. Definitely, I would look to someone like Fesser to, you know, show up and show that it's not like MOUZ have all the talent in these academy teams, which has to be said. I'm not sure who does the scouting for MOUZ NXT. It looked to me weird when they've first off assembled the academy team. I thought, you know, Shane and Suki coming from Isaac Obors, they've played with that team for a while, and I was thinking, wow, this is a downgrade for them, but it has been so successful for them and for the team as well. And then, like, the rest of the guys coming in, JDC, Exertion, I hear and I see only good things out of MHL as well. So someone is doing a pretty good job from MOUZ NXT, just like Suki here, with these anti-eco frags. Now on 35 HP, yeah, he should probably take a more defensive angle and let Exertion and the rest of the guys take care of business, especially MHL, who is the opper, who wants that Mech 10 money and will get a double kill.
Beautiful.
1200 in the bank. Ready for the first full buy round.
Oh yeah, absolutely beautiful. And you know, the scary part is for me, or at least, you know, kind of the interesting part, is that JDC has yet to even begin playing. So he's yet to get to the scoreboard. I mean, he's not dying, but you know, we both saw what he did at Katowice. We both saw how good he played, and I hope that we can see more out of this one, or out of this guy today here as well against Astralis talent, to show us that MOUZ NXT are obviously, you know, serious about all of this. In any case, It's going to be the gun round. We've got the op out for Berzer, and I'm kind of interested in seeing how this is going to be played out by MOUZ. It looks like a standard 1-3-1 setup where they're going to be focusing on that mid control. There should be flashbangs flying soon enough, but Mr. smartly enough, pulling back.
Good jump towards short at the start of the round, so that top mid smoke from MOUZ NXT, it really didn't do much. He spotted no one crossing towards the top mid boxes and knew that, you know, there's plenty of time to play with. Astralis Talent didn't really need to waste any smokes, any utility towards mid, and now they just keep on focusing towards the side, bringing 3 players to guard mid, while MOUZ is once again interested into splitting the A side. One problem for them coming into this round could be the AWP of Berzer, who is on top of ramp from the beginning of the round, and that's actually where the bomb is coming from.
What a timing for JDC as well. He was tucked under window, and right now there is a chance that this could go well for Astralis Talent. Berzer finds the first, as you mentioned, and they will know where Vigo is hiding, but there's a player on short they might not be expecting. That's Mr. And the ops on Berzer's hands as Fester finds one more. Mr. adds on top of that. It's looking good for MOUZ NXT. Actually, bad for MOUZ NXT as Astralis is able to clean house. And, well, 3 survivors, not the best, but it's not the worst either. And a 1v3 for MHL, very highly unlikely that he will be able to do much of anything here. I'd imagine him running away, trying to save the op. I mean, it's far more valuable than what he's going to get from the loss bonus, and there's no point in trying this one, as the round is already gone. And, well, first gun round.
Yeah, and pretty convincingly as well. I mean, only, you could say, it's kind of okay-ish. 3 players survived, nothing too crazy, not too bad either. But all in all, MOUZ NXT didn't really have a chance to win this one. JDC still missing on the board. Same goes for Vigo. But all in all, a pretty good read by Astralis Talent. They've started off the round with that jump towards short from Mr. But they also had the 2 players on the B side. Eventually, they decided to leave one there. Berzer was always controlling the A side with the AWP on ramp, and 3 guys towards mid was plenty enough to stop MOUZ NXT. So early on, we have a round on our hands. MHL, who spotted the player, didn't really expect him to come from that angle. Fester finds a gap in the smoke, and Syuhi goes down. So all of a sudden, Astralis Talent looking alive in this match.
I kind of like what I'm seeing, and this is what I meant, you know, earlier when I was speaking about that they'll need something more than just the classic old approach of, okay, let's gun run, you know, let's try and do this by just kind of relying on our knowledge. No, you got to rely on your raw skill and basically just be a little bit ballsy. Take those opportunities when they present themselves. You might be missing a few, you know, you might be losing a few, but as long as you're able to scare your opponent into submission, give them a bit of the heebie-creebies, or how to say this, GB-creebies. In any case, Shane will find Fester. That's a good start. Shane, right now, if he's pulling out a Palace, he needs support from Khan, but they're waiting for something. Good pop flash for himself, but nope, not actually good enough. And the lineups here for both Mr. and Vigo are enough, and that's the one thing I'm kind of, you know, surprised about. The fact Shane goes out of Palace solo whilst the C4 is yet to even be picked up.
Yeah, but that's probably his idea all the time long. Like an A lurker from apps finding a kill, you would expect him to just bunker down and try and wait for his teammates. But he wanted to go faster. MHL doing a good job here of surviving, but he will be hunted down slowly but surely by the rest of the team. I guess that's what Shane was thinking, so I'm not putting too much blame on him. Getting the 1 kill in a 3v5 won't change that much, and for like the most of the time you would expect he would be waiting for the 2 guys to come from mid. He tried to do it all by himself and maybe surprise someone on the other side, but unfortunately for him, that flash through the smoke didn't really do too much. So, Astralis Talent will bring back another one, and well, this will be, it seems, a close one, which it should be looking at their previous matchups. They've played, of course, in the Vplay Academy League, and MOUZ NXT was better 2 times against Astralis Talent. Won once in the best-of-1 duels, won a best-of-3, but every time it was really close. And interestingly enough, the last time they played, it's been around a month, maybe less than a month, but it was also these 3 maps, and it went the whole way with all the maps cutting it close. So we have a game on our hands.
Definitely we have a good game on our hands, and you know, I'm happy to see it. Comparatively to what we saw earlier between Tricked and Young Ninjas, this is definitely going to be an improvement. I can believe as much. Though, again, I kind of feel like whilst Nuke is a big question mark for MOUZ, Astralis Talent still need that individual brilliance, and Berzer is certainly delivering, although Xertion, the read is good, but he's going to be popping off the corner in a second as Berzer is about to line up the shot, doesn't get the kill on Suhi. Okay.
How's that not a kill?
Yeah, it's weird. He hit him in his shoulder, right? That should have been a body shot kill, basically. I mean,
I don't know.
even if you shoot into the elbow, it should be a kill, because usually everything above the legs or above the waist is a instant kill with the op, so yeah, definitely weird. But Shane...
Showing some of his skill. Shane getting a kill, and this is now opening some space for his teammates towards mid. All of a sudden, Mr. needs to be wary of that, but you can see on mid how much space MOUZ NXT gets, and they're taking it. They already have a player towards ladder room. Xertion with the AWP, I'm not sure if that's the best position he can be in with the AWP. Maybe better to come towards his teammates through connector and then cover for either CT or the short position he is in, but he's maybe trying to fake something out. Doesn't spot anyone. Astralis Talent, good reaction. They pushed B apps for a bit at least, having or got some information. Now the jig is up. Now they know that MOUZ NXT is coming. Now they know the position of Mr. And all of a sudden this is open for anyone. Xertion finding another kill, trying for the wall bang. Not good once, not good the second time. Mr. is surviving, and that's all he needs to do. 15 seconds to go. Someone needs to pick up the bomb, and there's a possibility for a plant, but Altex is right there. Altex misses the spray, so Xertion gets another try at the bomb plant. Berzer will need to spam the smoke, but he has the AWP, so pulls out the USP and goes forward, so they survive. Xertion gets another shot, and Berzer is left in a 1v1. 32 HP versus 32. AWP on one side and the other. USP is pulled out, and USP will prevail. Ooh, Astralis Talent cutting it close. It was a single AWP save for MHL, who didn't do much, but Xertion picked it up and definitely found some success, but it will be around for Astralis Talent.
Yeah, that was a close call. That was far too close for comfort there for both MOUZ and Astralis Talent, specifically for the CTs when they've lost 4 players up against basically everything. Now, the unfortunate event here for Astralis is the fact that they are kind of running low on funds right now, meaning a single mistake in the round like this could finish off their already weakened economical situation and pretty much give MOUZ that 5th one as well. In any case, we're kicking it off with another mid-take. It's going to be JDC currently at 0 kills still. MHL and Xertion, good frags coming out from Astralis Talent as they bring down the numbers, and we are going to have the advantage of Astralis Talent peak through the roof.
Shane, once again with the reaction from AF, so Berzer is already waiting, and I'm loving this from Astralis Talent. They are definitely putting up a fight towards mid. Last time it was a gap in the smoke of window and the player pushing through the smoke and connector. This time around they're just straight up taking a fight, and MOUZ NXT can't really do much about it. Even going before the smoke, maybe that was supposed to surprise Astralis Talent without a smoke, or go before the smoke blooms in window position, but no one was surprised on the other side. Double kill for Berzer, 1 each for Vigo and Mr. And all of a sudden it's all on JDC. Astralis Talent. This will straight up be them taking the lead unless JDC can deliver.
I mean, that's asking a lot from JDC. That's really asking a lot. And yeah, Berzer is going to peek out from Stairway, and that's pretty much it. 4-3, the lead in their hands. Another economical breakdown for MOUZ, and this should be easy enough of a 5-3 scoreline to open up Mirage. And a nice surprise from Astralis Talent, not gonna lie. Individually, you know, they're not really popping off too crazily, but they are playing well together, it looks like, and they're marking up for those mistakes with team play. That's how you can make it.
And that previous round was exactly what you wanted to avoid. If you're MOUZ NXT, you done a lot of economic damage in the previous round. You needed one of the full buy rounds to be at least expensive for Astralis Talent, so you can keep on pressuring the economy, but that didn't really happen. 4 players surviving the previous round. Fesser, oh, he actually spots the player lurking into connector, so at least Mr. gets the info. Xertion almost getting to the other side of the smoke, but that's not the case, and now MOUZ without a lurker, maybe with the passive positions of Astralis Talent, they can get a post plan, but
Yeah,
or the bomb down, excuse me, but the post plant should be favoring Astralis.
Absolutely. I mean, Astralis are playing smart here. By the time the bomb's going to be planted, they're already going to get 2 kills, or at least maybe 3 even. Yep, there's the 3rd. And now Berzer is in trouble, sure, but then again, they don't care. They've got the site, they've got the bomb, they can take care of MHL, and well, Altex comes at the right time to make sure that the op cannot be further used against themselves. Yeah, I mean, this is really well done by Astralis Talent, all I can say. It's a surprising amount of quality that we see out of them, and the odds are not shifting as much by Pinnacle standards, but I can assume that if we see a map victory here for Astralis and Mirage, that those odds are definitely going to take a bit of a bigger bump.
Yeah, for sure. 5-3 now, 5 in a row for Astralis Talent. You could see it even in the previous round when they were just against Pistols, how everyone is on the same page. Let go of the site, let them plant the bomb, it doesn't really matter. They have a full loss bonus anyways. Secure the round, and that's definitely what they did, only losing a single player, so all of a sudden their economy is looking decent as well. Vigo getting flash down connector, only good for 1, so at least MOUZ NXT is getting to take some mid control without too many casualties. And they will actually boost towards window. It could have been dangerous. There's that lamp behind the smoke that you can spot if anyone's coming through the window smoke. But that wasn't the case, although Xertion is up there. So now, options available for MOUZ NXT. An A split or a B split with Xertion on a lurk. Everything is a possibility now.
Oh, absolutely. Now, depending on how far they'll push with this lurk, I mean, JDC's kind of supporting that as well through ladder room. And MOUZ might have a way into B, because there's only Berzer there. So if they walk through short, there's an angle, there's a timing they could hit and absolutely surprise Astralis Talent themselves. But the C4 is seemingly going that direction, though the timing of this might be impeccable for Astralis Talent, especially if Xertion is able to catch Fesser. Oh, Berzer will be caught by JDC. That's what I'm talking about. Fesser will be catching Xertion, though, so that flank through Kitchen's not going to work out. But Shane, a quick shot on Altex. And there we have it.
And man, are they sharp in these duels. I would say that Astralis Talent once again read them like a book, rotating a 3rd player towards B, but doesn't matter when JDC opens up, or excuse me, yeah, it was JDC killing the player in the S position. That was a headshot from short, then another one from Shane, and then JDC to definitely lock down the round. MOUZ NXT, I was worried for them for a second there, not only because Astralis was rotating the 3rd player towards B, but also having 2 lurkers in this kind of a situation. Both Xertion and JDC were kind of not a part of the original attack, right? Only 2 players coming from maps. If the bomb goes down, it can get messy with the clock running down, but with headshots like that, there's no problems for MOUZ NXT as they bring one back. But Astralis Talent saving the 1 gun, have enough to invest again, so they can definitely try and do better in this round and extend their lead to 6.
I mean, honestly, I'm surprised by the quality of Astralis Talent. Now, yeah, they get caught off here and there off guard, but overall, they seem to be handling this pretty well. And MOUZ NXT, they have to start pulling out all the stops. I mean, JDC is going to have to step up to the plate as well and start really performing as we saw him just last weekend. I mean, if not sure what we can expect. In any case, it's going to be the op-out for Berzer that's going to be the danger for MOUZ. And I love this from Astralis Talent. They're avoiding middle completely. They know that utility-wise, they don't want to waste that on middle. They want to play together and make sure that the crossfires, and more specifically, you know, they can help each other in case of an execution.
Yep. Berzer, once again, you don't usually see this often, a solo AWP player towards ramp. Usually you have a double setup there with a bait for an M4, but that's not really the case. Fesser trying to control mid. He will be in front of their smoke. This is a dangerous game by Fesser. Do they have another flash to help him out? They're attacking Vigo, but this is the time for Fesser to jump in, and there we go. Vigo and Fesser take a kill each. MHL bringing out the pistol, knowing that Fesser is low HP, will get through towards the A side, but Mister is in their way, making it a 2v2. It's a bomb once again going down. Vigo making a lot of steps, and JDC will hear it. Altex, the one in the clutch. Making it a 1v1. Oh, he stopped shooting. I was about to say making it a 1v1, but he thought the same. He thought that Shane was already dead. Kind of already eager to take the second fight. He knew he was a surprise factor with the being basically the fifth player towards the ace side, but goddamn.
That really doesn't work out well here for Astralis Talent. And the surprise factor is kind of... I can agree with that, as but Shane was keeping an eye out on CT just as Altix went out through to peek towards Stairway. He turned around, Shane, that is, and you know, he had a perfect chance, as you said yourself. I believed that it would be a 1v1, but all of a sudden, bam. And yeah, that's gonna kind of put a bit of a weird, I guess you could say
that was a pretty good chance of a clutch, because the bomb was down mid.
20
and
seconds
it was like
to go.
Maybe 20 seconds. It's a question if who was the other player? I'm not sure. Was it JDC?
I think it might have been either Exertion or JDC.
Yeah, I think it was JDC coming out of ramp, but it would have been a question of could he get to towards the B side, maybe with some sort of a short jump over window or anything, but most likely he would have needed to go back towards A where Altix was, so missing that kill on Shane definitely
gotta be
pretty
painful.
huge deal. Yeah. Now MOUZ NXT calling for a tactical, maybe because some part of that previous round was a bit too hectic, having fights all over the place on the A side, on mid against two players, something that their coach noticed and wanted to, you know, just tell his players that, yeah, because I think they are pretty much aware this is an eco now for Astralis Talent. I don't think they called a tactical pause for this round specifically, so maybe just in general, calm things down. Everything is fine. 5-5. They have this under control. Exertion, well, he doesn't have it under control, at least for that spray, but he also spotted at least like 3 or 4 players towards B, and they're already on top of the A side, so the bomb will be coming shortly, although MHL is kind of taking the risky route here, going through mid. Maybe, I was thinking maybe Fester with the AK boosted on top of the box can spot him over the smoke, but that's not the case. MHL
this is more dangerous. Luckily, Shane is able to stop that, but yeah, I kind of agree with where you were saying that mid take through con to get the C4 onto A site was a little bit dangerous, because if there were 2 or 3 players on short, maybe more, things really could have taken a bit of a different turn for the worst. But MOUZ seemingly having things under control. Exertion paid it with his life to be able to spot the stack. Meanwhile, Shui gets himself caught. So that's a problem, but...
And you're right. You said this is more dangerous when MHL was planting the bomb towards CT and there were 3 guys there. And of course, yes, Shane was covering for his position, but then again, there were 3 guys there. They could have went for a wide peek, all 3 together, and who knows? They get the bomb down, all of a sudden, you know, with the time running out, something can happen. You cause, again, some distress in the MOUZ lineup that can definitely be shaky in those high-pressure situations. So, definitely a chance there they didn't use, but the new full buy round is in. And here's a new try by the Danish side.
I kind of like where Astralis is going with this. Look at this aggression towards middle. It's going to be Berzer in con. Now, he is smoked off, mollied off, or excuse me, flashed off, with Fester holding through window. Now, MOUZ, whilst looking to take control of middle, they're gonna have to pay a high price to just, you know, check out smoke into window, smoke onto short, potentially smoke onto high connector, and then see where they go from there. And yeah, there's the smoke into deep con, there's the smoke into window, and this is a B take, so they don't need a smoke short, but this is gonna be very dangerous. Berzer is already lined up, they've got Altix on the support, and this could be working out well, but the push is about to begin.
They spotted the AWP, but that's not the only one. Altix is there as a bait. Gets the one, gets a headshot onto MHL, but gets taken out by Shane. So Berzer now knows they're coming 2 out of BS, but he doesn't even realize there's a player coming from short. That's Yuki. The B split does work. No one stopped MOUZ NXT players coming through mid. They did get the kill on Exertion and Connector, but it's still Shane coming through short, and Astralis Talent were completely oblivious to that. I was just about to praise him again, because this is another time where Berzer with the AWP is posted on a good angle, as exactly where MOUZ NXT will be coming, just like he was in on ramp on the A side a couple of times, but even 3 players on the B side weren't enough this time around, and MOUZ NXT will take the lead even further, 7-5.
Yeah, it feels like Fesser should excuse me, not Fesser, Altex should have stayed alive, isn't it? Like, as soon as Berzer came into contact and missed the first shot, Altex should be the one to, okay, he gets the 1 kill and then should hide away to try and let basically Berzer take a shot again to try and single out those players one by one. And not to mention, they kind of forgot about Short. I mean, it was literally Shui that came through solo and was able to get himself an easy kill on Berzer, and therefore, you know, the round pretty much ended.
I'm not sure. We were too focused on B-Apps and Berzer on the AWP. I didn't really pay attention what was the setup from Astralis Talent on the other side of the map. But if 3 guys are on B and no one is covering Short, then at least someone needs to spot for them from the A side towards that position. So something definitely didn't go through as intended there for the Danes. Now back to pistols. There is a saved AK for Fesser. This is where he should shine. Flash towards ramp, Xertion knows that 2 are around the corner. Headshot angle, but he actually can't do it, and well, Fesser shows himself on stairs. There's the AK. Maybe a sign for MOUZ to go to the other side. That's exactly what they tried, but Vigo, VT Deagle, finds the 1 headshot, and now spots JDC. JDC, I'm not sure. Yes, he's a great player, but I'm not sure you want to take that fight against the shoulder-peeking Deagle.
Absolutely not.
Now another AK in connector, but JDC is crisp. Vigo finding another headshot.
Yeah, this is getting very dangerous. MOUZ is paying a high price just to get any sort of control going, but even then, they have none. And both players in Palace, this is a weird choice. I mean, we've got a player that's basically posted on Ninja Box, so that's going to be, of course, Mr. Vigo, that's going to be on middle, and we've got here Altex that's playing from Stairway, so he's got great vision on towards Palace itself. And MHL is expecting the peek, but the problem is it doesn't matter. Mr. gets a free kill, Altex peeks out wide, the missed shot will make sure that Astralis Talent keep themselves on 6 rounds, or at least get the 6th one as well. This is... what I'm a little bit kind of perplexed about is MOUZ knew this was going to be an eco. I mean, anybody counting the economy should know this, and they still decided to go for this quick push out of pit, which doesn't really make sense in this kind of scenario.
Yeah, I agree. It kind of does make sense. Well, you see a lot of teams on tier 1 level do it, but do it like a full squad is there. And all the utilities flying in. So you molly default, you molly shadow, you molly triple box or firebox, however you call it. You know, smoke off top con and then move on and proceed to take the whole site. Like this, when you send only, what, Xertion forward and he spots 2 players, then you back off, then you try and react towards mid. This was not a good round for MOUZ NXT. But on the other hand, this is exactly what we wanted to see from Astralis, because there were rounds previously where MOUZ NXT were outplayed in terms of, you know, positioning and whatnot, and they hit the headshots and they won a round. Now Astralis Talent strapped for cash, only a low buy, a couple of deagles, and that saved AK, and they showed that they can definitely individually, you know, match MOUZ players, as Vigo was able to hit the double headshot. JDC hiding in the smoke will be sent forward. The flash is good. Completely blind. Altex stands on top of the white box, but Fesser is there from short, and he's not the lone player here. Vigo is there as well, and MOUZ NXT again with these. Ooh, just like the previous round, they do have an idea, and sure, it's good to have a plan B, but then again, it should not be working. Berzer again with a weird miss. Fesser with his triple, or at least Berzer will take it. MHL can still bring this one back.
Yeah, MHL and Shane, if they play this right, they are not going to be together currently. They are trying to make their way towards A, so, you know, obviously looking for that reconnection. But Mr. and CT, he's the vital part for Astralis Talent, right? I mean, if he stays alive, if he prevents the plant, if he does anything that stops MOUZ in their tracks, it's going to be enough, because through short, it's going to be Fesser. Vigo's coming to support now as well in CT, so as long as MOUZ do not lose the both players whilst the setup is still going, it's going to be fine for MOUZ. But right now, here comes the deep smoke into pit. That's going to block off the angle from MHL. That's going to be perfect. Fesser's going to be coming out through con. But that flash... oh, that's a failed flash. Ooh, that's a failed flash. That's a bad thing.
That's a failed smoke. I don't think you wanted to drop this smoke.
Oh, it's a
Didn't
one-way.
drop in the ramp position. It's basically a 1v for MHL. Maybe that's the key. Shane falls down. 1v1, another clutch. And this one goes in favor of MOUZ NXT. Previous clutch with the AWPs went the way of Berzer. MHL will once again prove while he's proper replacement for Torji, who's now on tier 1 level. 13 kills for MHL. Definitely showing he can do it, but Astralis talent, I really don't like the utility usage there. 3v2, smoke, I would say always goes for the bomb, not anything else, but even though the flash was missed, MHL was there, winning MOUZ this first half.
Yeah, exactly. That was a bit of a saving grace for MOUZ, but again, we do see this classic 1-3-1 setup where mid control is seemingly going to be taken over by MOUZ. Depending on what they want to do, they can smoke off con window, smoke off short window. In any case, here comes the flash. Oh, what double ultics! The lineup, Shuhi and Exertion get both absolutely obliterated. That's the C4 dropped as well, and that's what you get when you don't smoke window. That's one of the primary core reasons why you smoke window always. If nothing else, you've got an op trained into that corner continuously at any point in time when you don't have a smoke up. And a huge misstep here by MOUZ, where they're basically down to 3 players, with Shane being on 21 HP. They have no control over the map. I mean, yeah, sure, they've got mid, but right now Astralis talent is such a advantage that even controlling mid won't really make a difference for MOUZ.
You're absolutely right there. Altex, a little bit of luck to hit a collateral, but still, window should always be smoked at Molly. Berzer with another one. Fesser chimes in with one of his own, and Shane, he's always somewhere lurking towards the A side. They definitely know it. Mister with the trade of Berzer, and it will be the 7th round for Astralis. So all in all, not that bad. I don't know how you feel about it, but I think definitely Mirage with the, you know, the time that the map has been around with all the insta window smokes now and the bench addition at some point. I would say it leans somewhere towards the T side. So winning only 7 on the CT side, I wouldn't really call that bad. I think Astralis did a pretty good job in the CT side.
Absolutely agree with you. Like, I think that the map itself favors the Ts more. I mean, if you've got a perfect CT side, sure, but, you know, the T side can really be well utilized. Yeah, and this is going to be a B-Rush. Good nade. Look at the amount of damage it's going to be dishing out. Well, not as much, but Xertion's already getting himself the first. Fesser's going to be able to kind of bring it back home a little bit, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. So, like, this is so easy. MOUZ NXT, they've not potentially anticipated this fully, but they had 3 players in position. By the time the full squad of Astralis talent was able to push forward, there were already 5 players in position. And that is going to be 9-7 as MOUZ take the second pistol as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. No, I think it was... Yeah, you're right. MOUZ was winning in the beginning.
Yep.
And then Astralis with the comeback leading 5-3 or something like that. But kind of unfortunate that there for Exertion, he was the one to get the first kill. And then we were watching him and it was looking like he's getting all the headshots, but it was his teammates actually getting the kills. It was, I think, MHL once again with the multi-kill. Now on to 16. It will be a full eco for the Danes, so adding the stats here for MOUZ NXT. Let's see who gets the most kills. We definitely seems like MOUZ NXT is expecting some sort of force buy, because surely if they knew the eco was coming out, someone would have invested into an MP9. But 3 FAMASs and a couple of M4s for this round.
I don't mind it, actually. I honestly, as you said, yeah, they probably expected some sort of a forced deagle, you know, maybe Tech 9s, a few Kevlars get here or there. But then again, when you think about this, if you're playing Mirage, you know you're up against the Ts that's going to have a continuous flow of economy one way or another, and you might want to get those M4s out sooner rather than later, as well as the FAMAS, which some people really don't like, but it's a useful weapon in the right condition if you've got some support to give it to. You know, the FAMAS can be absolutely deadly no matter what. In any case, this is where the fun should end for MOUZ. I mean, they played very passively in the previous round, and it's time to change that. It's time to be a little bit more progressive, perhaps potentially finding some more map control rather than anything else.
Agreed. Just like I said, adding the stats, MHL gets another multi-kill.
Yep.
This time was a quad, all the way up to 20 kills now. Shane, interestingly enough, the only player of the A side, kinda, uses one of his smokes to help out his teammate in connector. Vigo forced to extinguish the molly on top of mid. That's why, but that's one of the reasons why you throw that Molotov. But there's
Look
alert.
at where they are.
Yeah.
Nobody checks triple? What is this? What is this madness? Nobody checks triple at all? Like Firebox? What the hell is this? Shane just peeks out solo. Nobody's punishing that. 3 players pushing out towards Sandwich. Astralis talent. Chaos is definitely starting to reign supreme in the ranks of the Danes. They're seemingly losing their focus more than anything. Because that was not supposed to happen. I mean, let's be honest here. When was the last time we saw, you know, even in our own games, either be it Faces, either be it anything else, when you push out slowly like that through pit towards Sandwich stairway, there is a guarantee that one player will always be watching that triple corner, right?
Yep, you're exactly right. And even if Shane survives the first duel, that box is all spammable, so he really shouldn't survive there. Vigo, they heard him on mid some time ago, so he could be back from ramp, and that's exactly the case. Kills the one, spots another one, but even though he recovers the bomb, I don't see this going his way unless Vigo can hit some crazy headshots. But the thing is, they can play onto the contact of one player and then peek all out together. Well, almost lined up there, 2 players, but didn't really work. JDC with the kill, and it will be the 11th for MOUZ. Not only that, no one was holding that angle that Shane was in, but also I feel like if you advance that much towards the A side, sooner or later you gotta expend some utility, like molly off jungle, smoke off connector. Even though you haven't spotted anyone yet, there's no way you're gonna, you know, get an MTA bomb site with no one spotting. That's not gonna happen. So I know it's dangerous crossing those lines towards, you know, con, jungle, and whatnot, but you went out and got all the way through to Sandwich.
Yeah.
It's time to use some of that utility, and they had some. It's not. It was like a perfect full buy round for Astralis, but still, I'm sure they had a smoke and a molly to expand.
Oh yeah, they had enough. They had more than enough. They just seemingly decided that, you know what, we're gonna walk out like it's matchmaking. In any case, I mean, Deagle's Kevlar is now in round number 19. MOUZ looking to continue their success. It's looking solid here for MOUZ, not gonna lie. I mean, finally the players are kind of waking up as well. Shuki and Shane are, or excuse me, Shuki and Exertion are kind of quiet on that department of kills. Meanwhile, MHL and Shane are popping off like crazy. Nonetheless, you know, the loss of Shuki is a problem. Sure, they could potentially give that weapon to the opponent, but then again, at the end of the day, they've already got 2 more in window, and Fesser's far gone from being able to do anything at all. So, what can we say here? I mean, Astralis talent, I guess the idea should be now just execution, right? Like, I think basics is better than what they've been trying so far. Go back to what you know is working, or at least you know could work. Execute A side, execute B side, you know, do some sort of a split B, split A. Just keep it simple.
Yeah. Usually I would say maybe not yet. Maybe once again try and go for some sort of a default. But with 4 rounds at the start of this half and, 3 rounds that MOUZ had at the start of the previous half, that's already 12 with all combined. So already kind of time running out. So probably you're right. Astralis definitely need to pull out one of those rounds, you know, that gives you bolts, you know, more often than not. Go for that safe one that will at least give you a bomb plant and maybe get you into a post-plant situation where you will have a chance of winning a round. They need to, you know, get something done here. I wouldn't say that that previous round was that bad out of them. Of course, they lost. That contact A play didn't really work, but that was also a reaction from them. Their teammate on top mid got mollied, like I mentioned, forced to smoke himself off. So maybe they read that that's some sort of aggression from MOUZ coming towards mid. More players, more CTs towards mid. Let's react towards the A side, but could have been done better. So I wouldn't say it's all too bad for now from the T side, but the thing is, the scoreboard doesn't lie. They don't still have a round on the T side.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna say that, you know, simple is better in this case all the time for Astralis, but in a way they gotta put some score, or like some points on the board, and usually the simpler it is, the easier it usually is to win. And I know some people might think this makes no sense, but honestly it does, because you gotta consider that MOUZ will be counteracting every single crazy strategy. They might least expect those simple ones, those straight-up executions. In any case, already starting off, Berser is down. There's a bit of a split, you know, one in Palace, one in B House, and I'm not sure what exactly Astralis Talent is trying to do here. Everybody's just peeking out alone. Like, look, Mister, what are you expecting? Like, he literally crouch walks, duck walks out of Palace in, like... I'm really kind of lost for words here, Wukan. I don't know what the idea Astralis Talent were trying to bring on the table. Just, like, completely rely on individual performance? Or what was it?
It looks like it. Also, that inexperience coming in, you already lost 2 players. You feel the need to do something. But on the other hand, that's exactly what MOUZ NXT will be expecting, right? They're 2-man down, they're gonna expect it, they're gonna try and do something, and well, that something then will work. MHL, maybe dangerous to stick around for the same angle. Exactly for that reason, Fester can go for a pre-fire, but it's a 5 against 1, so everyone is peeking towards Fester, not really afraid. It will be the 13th for MOUZ and Astralis Talent. This is where I would like to see one of those timeouts being expected, even though we had a technical in the previous one. Go for a tactical, go and figure out what gives you at least a bomb plant, because did we see a post plant in the second half?
No,
I don't think
not
so.
once. Not once. Even on the pistol, it didn't work out at the end of the day. So yeah, this is like it's all just coming together for MOUZ, obviously. Ooh, a little bit of a gap. He sees the player in con. Unfortunately, it doesn't really matter because Xerxion's got eyes on him as well. And here comes a bit of a B attempt. I kind of like the idea, but they're so split in the timing. This will never work timing-wise. You're not going to be organized enough. You're not going to be coordinated enough.
Ooh.
And sure, Vigo finds 2, beautifully done. But the damage is still there. 1v3. Can he pull it off? No. Cannot.
Vigo once again showing what he can do with the Deagle, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, the problem is they want to go for that 4-man execute towards B, but that also means there are 2 guys throwing grenades, and then there are 2 guys running out of B apps, and the only way any B execute on Mirage will work is if you run out and get the first kill. If you don't run out and get the first kill, there's a good chance you're not winning the round, because all of a sudden the rotation is coming in. You don't have any control of the B site unless you're you know, somewhere towards bench or anything like that. With that kill I mentioned, if you're gonna be stuck in the Windows position and maybe behind the van and whatnot, it's not looking likely. And in comes the tactical pause, but just like we mentioned in the previous game we watched, it tricked against Young Ninjas maybe a bit too late. 7-14, of course, not over yet. There's plenty of Counter-Strike to be played if Astralis Talent can mount up some rounds.
Again, I still think it's, you know, the best choice here for Astralis should be a simple execution. Just see if that works, right? Because usually the thought process of teams is, at least that's how, you know, I used to play or used to work with, was, okay, if our special tactics don't work, let's go back to the simpler ones. Let's go to see what is wrong or where can we fix it. And look at this. Shane peeks into pit, gets himself Berser. Altek's good reply. But where's the rest of the side of Astralis? Unfortunately, a little bit late to the party. Shui finally going to be taken care of, so that's a great start for Astralis Talent. The smokes are going to be lined up as well, in towards stairs, in towards jungle being thrown, so that's beautiful. Finally, we see a little bit more pressure being put on MOUZ NXT as MHL gets caught as well. This is looking like it could work. JDC alone in triple, and that's what you mentioned earlier. You can easily wallbang that position, and they take care of him, simply put, quickly. 1v3, Xerxion. I'm not sure he can pull it off.
Trying his best. There's a lot of money in the bank, so why wouldn't he try? And to be honest, I don't mind Xerxion going for kills here, because even though, of course, Astralis Talent is on the T side and they had the maximum loss bonus thus far, and now finally achieved a bomb plant, if he can get just one more kill, that could be huge for the upcoming rounds, but eventually falls to Mr. I think he might have was thinking of picking up the AWP from MHL that was right in front of him. But Astralis finally win the round. This is exactly like we watched again from Tricked. You know, you have a huge lead, you kind of get overeager of finishing off the map as soon as possible. So Suki goes down, or Shane was it, you know, going aggressive towards ramp all by himself. Then another player peeks for seemingly no reason from stairs. He gets taken out. MHL tries to go for a peek before the smokes bloom, and etc. etc. They all line up for Altex and his AWP. Now the AWP back into the hands of Berserk. He spots the player, but MHL is just so quick. Dispatches of the AWP, and it's a man advantage.
And unfortunately, we kind of revert back to what we see. Like, again, we see this same principle of Astralis talent looking to go in solo, one by one. I think they should have heard the tick of damage, but is it too late? That's the question right now everybody's asking themselves. Vigo gets Shui, so that's a good start at least. But again, once more, you know, Astralis talent have nothing to show for the loss of one of their players. Make it 2, make it 3 players lost, and that's pretty much it. I mean, you want to see Astralis talent do well. Yes, everybody wants to see that, but let's be fair here. MOUZ NXT is just playing so much better individually, and likewise being able to play off of one another, right? When you have one player peaking, the other one supports, and basically they're just switching out roles consistently. And this is the first C4 plant, well, not the first one, but basically the first one they're getting at least something done with. Even then, they're still gonna lose the round, and I'm not yet sold on the quality of Astralis talent. Unfortunately, I really do feel like... Yeah, on the T side, exactly. Like, I really feel like they should be sticking to 5-manning it, basically, right? Just stick together.
It doesn't have to be 5-manning, but it needs to be more complex than this. The previous time they went with that A contact, that was their first full buy round, I didn't have that much you know, against it because of the everything that was happening in the round. Otherwise, the previous full buy, they tried something across mid, but this is something I really don't like seeing. Like an AWP player going for a contact play. Now they're going for a mid take, and at least they're getting a 1v1. MHL should probably back off, but it's 15-8, so I'm guessing everything that should be done goes out the window, right? Zertion goes on top of the smoke, spots the one, spots the other one backing off. So that will buy some time here for the MOUZ NXT team as they all rotate towards the A site. Altex is here on stairs. There's the help of Mr. coming in with that C4, but it looks like it should be over. Right behind the wall, there's Zertion. He gets taken out. Altex with the double. And now they know MHL, at the start of the round at least, he was towards window position, and Altex will peek and get the kill. There we go.
Oh, okay.
More
Finally,
of that.
somebody's getting mad. Yeah, more of that, exactly. Oh, wow. Okay, I'll take that one. I mean, it's 2 rounds they're able to get here, so, you know, 6 more in a row to just be able to go for the overtime. That's the best they can do right now, and maybe they're starting to figure out as well, okay guys, we gotta, you know, as you said yourself, play a little bit more complex, try and work off one another a little bit better, and avoid losing players where it really, you know, there really shouldn't be a firefight going. And I like this A split, I like this a lot, but unfortunately they're a little bit out of time, at least timing wise. Look at this, how are they attacking this? MHL with a double already. Fester is going to be able to get one as Vigo replies, but Mr. Suhi, he is under Palace in shadow, as you said, and well, who will take care of him? The answer is nobody. That's it. That's it. Unfortunately for Berzer, he is alone and isolated, and well, now caught by JDC from top middle. GG. Map number 1 done.
And in favor of MOUZ NXT, it was a quick A split attempt again from Astralis talent, but it was not enough. MOUZ NXT, all in all, proving their worth here on Mirage, and will take that first map, and we will take that lead. But it's a best of 3, and it was their pick. So next up, it will be Nuke, picked by Astralis talent, seemingly having better stats on Nuke. So maybe this best of 3 is not over yet. We go for a quick pause, for a quick break. When we come back, it will be Nuke between Astralis talent and MOUZ NXT. second map between MOUZ NXT and Astralis Talent. MOUZ leading as they win on Mirage, but now they are on the CT side of this nuke, and well, let's see if they can do better than what their results say so far. While Astralis Talent will be splitting the B-bomb site, exerting their way, but only good for one headshot. Tsuhi is also there, and there's another player coming off ramp. This is too many CTs, too many for Astralis to expect, but they get all the headshots. And well, Shane, good luck going down vents as Fester is waiting on the other side. And just like that, Astralis Talent start off nuke.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot better than what we saw on Mirage, that's for certain. And, you know, I guess we had our doubts about Nuke for MOUZ. We spoke about this briefly in the pregame, that MOUZ and Nuke don't really go hand in hand. They've lost the 3 officials they played on it. But, you know, my intuition tells me that there's more to them than just those 3 losses. And they probably pracked quite a little bit to get ready for this up-and-coming series. In either case, Astralis Talent haven't really shown us too much quality on Mirage T side, and I would assume this is going to be a little bit different here for Nuke. But MHL, okay. Oh, Vidiga.
Not the best first smoke there from MHL as from Astralis Talent, excuse me, as MHL gets a wide open look at the T's that are coming through, and he also spotted a couple of them crossing. So the MOUZ NXT should definitely know there's a possibility of some of the Astralis Talent players coming towards B, but with that being said, there's no rotation coming in. First off, they want to make some sort of a reaction towards lobby, looking for that lurk player, but Altex was far behind towards the T spawn, not really even close to any of their positions. Now, you know, getting closer, but it seems like the timing could be in his favor, as he doesn't actually spot anyone. That was so close and yet so far, and now 3 players on the B side. MOUZ NXT is looking good for this one.
Yeah, MOUZ is seemingly getting a little bit more control in their hands, but a good reaction from Mr. might just have saved them the round. That was a vital kill that MOUZ needed, and unfortunately now it all just collapses. Altex on the lurk through trophy room here towards ramp, and he's going to be already spotting back into lobby, making sure that, you know, any sneaky beaky players from MOUZ won't be able to get away with more kills.
Unfortunate there for JDC. One of the previous patches, and that those 2 shots from the Deagle would be more than enough damage, but not in this situation, not in this patch. Altex, he knows that one is behind the truck. Finds Yuki, who's thinking he's safe and sound. Shane also fallen, and it's all down to MHL. So pretty big kills for Astralis Talent after the round was already over. MOUZ NXT, if they save those upgraded pistols, this round would also be a threat to Astralis Talent. This way, MHL, however great he can be with the scout, I don't think it could be enough to stop the full buy from the other side. All by himself.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree here. I mean, he can definitely tag a few players and make them easier to bring down, but I doubt that that's gonna make that he's gonna be that much more impactful than what you would usually see from a scout. And look at this, straight A rush. I like it, the simplicity of a push like this. You know, put the Mac-10 first, let him take the damage, let him take the score. But what Shuki? He gets away with the Zeus. Insane. But again, Astralis Talent, I like the idea here. You know, just rush out A, get the Mac-10 first out of hut. Even if he dies, you've got AKs right behind him, you've got Galils to support it. So as long as you keep that kind of flowing, you should be fine. And, well, pointing case proven.
Yeah. Not much to be said here, as MOUZ NXT had only, what, a P250 other than the Scout. And Astralis Talent, they knew that Scout was saved. So if there's a place where MHL won't be with the Scout, that's the A site, at least not as early as that. And even if he's on the A site itself, you can easily overrun the Scout player. Altex will find exertion with the Deagle he found from the previous round, and it will be a 3-0 start for Astralis Talent. Exactly what they were lacking on Mirage, as they lost both pistol rounds. Now they have a bit of an easier start, bit of a advantage going into a first full buy round, and now they are the ones in the driver's seat, as MOUZ economy could be in trouble, especially with all the investments coming into this first full buy round.
There's one thing that, you know, I was a little bit afraid of how their T side will go here on Nuke, but clearly they've proven me wrong in that sense. Though Shane starts off pretty strongly. Vigo, unfortunately, gonna be the one to fall first as he tries to be fast in towards Hut. And there's a second player in Hut that's gonna fall as well. That's Fesser. Shane switches out for the AK. He might be tagged, same as Exertion, but the damage currently is quite severe, and there's no response from Astralis Talent. They've got no map control, they've got no info, and at this point there could already be a lurk coming in through ramp as well, and Altex is going to have to keep an eye out on that, even though there is nobody there. Oh, I like this outside take, or setup from MOUZ as well.
Agreed, but in a two-man advantage, only 3 players for Astralis Talent. The likelihood of them going yard right now is low, I would say. So that setup might be a bit of an overkill, but still should be good here for MOUZ NXT. Let's see if they can capitalize on Shane getting them a double kill. Now just waiting to see if there's some sort of a reaction. There's not. There's so many angles you need to check once you get out of Hut. So Shane, this should be a good one. 3 players coming his way, so even a possibility for an ace, but the MHL will steal one on Mr. Shane with a triple, and Berzer will just opt to save. So MOUZ NXT will deliver, and will get the first round. No need to hunt for the last player, honestly. Yes, it's the AWP of Berzer, but on the other hand, you just started with your first round on the CT side. Surviving with 5 would be huge for MOUZ NXT.
I mean, that's a really big bump to their currently lacking economy, as Berzer will survive on rooftop. The thing is, he doesn't have any loss bonus from this, so, you know, he's going to be currently at 0 as we see, and the rest of his teammates will reinvest. Luckily, the money was quite high, but they were able to bump up that economy quite well with those quick plays and basically surviving with, I believe, 4 or 5 survivors and for the majority of the rounds they were in. In any case, going into round number 5 will be, again, much the same when it comes down to equipment. A few lacking those smokes on Astralis Talent, but look at this. Outside take is going to be very quick. Into secret they go. There is Shui down in towards secret long, but...
Oof. A problem here because Huey doesn't know if anyone dropped down vents either, because there's a smoke in front of the squeaky doors, so he's quite passive in the B position. It's not a problem. It's not like they can get into the B bomb side without him knowing, but on the other hand, it's going to be such a late information for MOUZ NXT when they get to him. Although here is the rotation of another player. JDC will go even more aggressive. JDC trying to bait him in, and he does exactly that. Yuki, ton of damage, but only a single kill. JDC, can he spot him? Gets the kill on Vigo, and Mr. who's carrying the C4 is also low on HP, stuck here behind or between 2 players. Xertion coming down vents will get the kill, and that's the bomb taken out. Altex got him the entry kill somewhere on top of the A side. Could have been even better for them, but now this is going to be tough. And, well, they find MHL, but it should be that he spotted both of them, I think.
I think he did, yeah, because he spotted the player that wasn't looking at him while getting shot at by the other side. Unfortunately, yeah, that's, you know, I was about to say, MOUZ, they are very much aware that the only way they have enough time to get the C4 planted is to drop down vents, both peeking that, both Xertion and JDC, and unfortunately, you know, you can't really hope to do much when you're being... when you drop down into 2 players. Even 1 player would usually be enough, but, you know, you can maybe get rid of 1, right? I'm a little bit in doubt for Astralis Talent and their potential victory for this first half. I feel like they need, let's say, 7-8 rounds to make sure they have that moral high ground, right? Moral high ground, and keep that spirit high.
True. The odds will, of course, favor MOUZ as they are putting up rounds here on Nuke early on, and they are, of course, leading 1-0 in terms of maps, as you can check out in the top right corner. If you want to see more odds, check out tab.gg/winter22, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, use the code winter22, yep.
See what's to offer from Pinnacle, of course. While we go into another full buy round, I like it. Astralis Talent going for the tactical pauses early here. Trying to go for that 3-man down secret kind of a play, but I don't like those attempts where you leave two lurkers. You should, in that situation, I'm guessing one of them is supposed to go towards ramp. Maybe one who's not in secret watches for the vent drop from the CTs on the A side. But that also means it's not the problem of Astralis talent. A number of tier 1 teams also does this this type of approach with going for those 3-1-1 attacks. But for me, having the 3 guys being the the brunt of the attack, if one thing goes wrong, the whole round is basically done, and that's exactly what happened there. I gotta say, that rotation from JDC and going that aggressive and baiting those players into the crosshairs of Syuhi was pretty much what won the MOUZ the round. So nicely done there from the German player, as we are finally about to kick off this next full-way round, because MOUZ NXT called for a tactical pause after the tactical pause of Astralis talent. Maybe a bit of mind games coming in.
Definitely a few mind games here and there. But, as we said, economy now starting to take a bit of a hit. Oh, there's a gap in the smoke. There's not, there's no secondary smoke.
Yeah.
Okay. That's, I mean, I gotta to kind of piggyback on the point you made about that, 3-man attack into secret. I like the idea, but I heavily disagree with the 2-man lurk. That definitely isn't the right choice. And again, JDC, he's the bait and switch. He gets the first kill, and there's a second player that's gonna be joining the fray to try and defend this. I believe that's gonna be MHL watching the cross in towards ramp itself, and Astralis Talent seemingly kind of getting those spidey senses tingling, realizing, yo, something's wrong, something's off. Shane gets Vigo. Oh no, the shadow of Fesser. At least the angle has been better for Zershin. And again, what does Astralis do? They have no response. They lose players left and right, and they don't even know where to go now.
Exactly. And this is where, this is why a lot of people say that CSGO is a confidence game, and it definitely is. As Mr. is trying to bait out shot against from MHL, but that's not gonna happen, and seems like we're gonna be watching Berzer save again. But talking about confidence, JDC gets the kill towards ramp and stays there. If he doesn't have any confidence, he would most likely run all the way towards the B side, and then MOUZ NXT don't have the info if Astralis Talent is on ramp or not. He stays on ramp, he checks angle by angle again, and sees that no one is there. That means the guys on the A side need to focus up, because Astralis Talent is most likely coming their way. MHL, talking about confidence, he's just gonna take the next more aggressive line, more aggressive position, and take the last one out. So not even an AWP saved for Astralis Talent. And after a 3-0 start with the 3 rounds of MOUZ, finally economy of the T side is broken, and now MOUZ with a good chance to take the lead.
That's actually a great way to bring it up. As you said, confidence is key, and in this case, Astralis cannot afford to lose any more of it. Already the loss of Mirage was harsh enough, and hopefully they won't be, too curb stomped too much, I would say. Oh, good save by MHL as he switches out to the P250. Now he's going to be a little bit more swamped and swarmed, but Syuhi, he's in too good of a position to be dropped down that easily. He's got, what, a few bullets left, and that's enough. That's enough. Just goes for the headshot. And a 4K by Huey. So far, so good. MOUZ NXT is bringing it back. They are going to be on 4 rounds consecutive here. I mean, the problem here I'm seeing for Astralis is, once again, they're reverting to that same problematic ideology they had on Mirage, right? On T side, where they were continuously just caught off one by one. And hopefully this is not going to happen here on the gun round. But then again, you can never know really until it actually happens. As we see, 3 players outside make it 4. And perhaps now they hard focus. Oh, missed smoke again.
It's ruined this time around. There's a molly, there was a CT molly next to the red boxes, so it makes a huge gap towards the yard smokes. But it seems like they want to go towards Syuhi, not behind the smokes. Or do they know it? Oh, Syuhi gets a first free kill, and then spots a lot more coming his way. So there's already information for MHL to rotate towards the B side. MHL maybe going too aggressive this time around, but he doesn't care. He's just gonna check angle by angle, and it's again MOUZ NXT with full control. Although Zershin Talking about
pushed
too aggressive,
Squeaky,
he
right?
found himself in the lobby position all by himself. And it will be another kill for Altex.
Yeah, that's actually really good for Astralis Talent if they're able to capitalize on this further, but unfortunately Shui is a little bit too far prepared in Hell and is able to stop that push in towards Heaven Hell, where, oh, he peeks out again, this time from Heaven as Berser gets him. Shane will not be checked, that's a huge misstep. Now he will be turning point, but still the damage is dealt. MHL with this, the quick scope. I'm perplexed how good MHL is in the reaction business, but JDC to finish it off, 5-3. Astralis Talent back onto an eco, and this outside take initially ruined by the Molotov. I was a bit surprised that MOUZ actually, that Astralis didn't react to that. As you pointed out, you know, that was a huge gap that they should have been realizing is there, especially when, you know, you hear the Molotov being extinguished. But then they continue to slow walk through it. That's another part that really kind of bothered me, and unfortunately they lost one too many early on to be able to regain any sort of control. But eco is back in play, and all 5 outside? Nope. 4 outside? Yeah.
MHL, once again, could be found in trouble against pistols, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Faster with the first kill. This also enables Altex to pick up the AWP, and we've seen him on the secondary op on Mirage. Berger gets a kill on Shane, and all of a sudden, the round is falling apart for MOUZ NXT. Of course, there's plenty of chance for them to bring it back, but Astralis Talent is running it back towards the A side. JDC good for one. He needs to rotate quickly. He doesn't know Berger is in the side. Xertion will get taken out, and Astralis Talent, just as it seems like their T side is falling apart, they will bring one back with the pistols and call for a tactical pause. This is something that MOUZ NXT wanted to avoid for sure. Of course, their economy is good enough to go for another buy, but just as you were taking 5 rounds in a row, you know, losing one of these rounds can definitely bring your opponent back to life. And let's see if that happens. Let's see if the Danes can bring us to an equalizer.
I want to kind of touch on the subject of MHL in secret, which usually would have somebody on, you would be on the stairway, right? So on the stairs themselves, so you would be peeking from the stairs on towards red, and then you have an easy way back into safety, just basically going down the stairs and save yourself from further trouble. He was on that little bit of a ledge, though, on that little bit of a plateau that is available in secret, and his miss was weird. I would have loved to see a replay of that shot, because it looked like it was on point, but clearly it didn't really work out the way he'd imagined. And well, at the end, the Tech-9s are what really wins the round for Astralis Talent, and that's beautiful. And hopefully they can continue on with this performance as we move on to round number 10. Oh, look at this push, JDC! What? What is this madness? Shane, MHL, JDC, all just adding on top of the tally, and I'm just kind of wide-eyed right now. I was like, what is this?
A leap of faith by JDC. Of course, there was a flash by one of his teammates behind him. I believe that was Hyuhi, sending him forward, but still quite an aggressive round from MOUZ NXT, and I like it. I mean, it's also a statement here. Yes, you just won a round with pistols and you call for a tactical pause and you think you have some sort of a solution for our defenses, but no, we're gonna go on the offensive, even though on the CT side, and just like that, in a matter of what, like 20-30 seconds, Astralis Talent is already done in this round. Berser with the AWP on the lurk, not really a position where you want to see your Opper, and then Vigo, the only one left. I gotta say, Vigo probably left best impression, if you ask me, from Mirage, with a couple of those nice Deagle headshots. Fesser, I was expecting more. Vigo, though, nice headshots or not, 1v5 is not an option, as he's gonna be shot in the back. MHL with another multi-kill, with another good position with the AWP, will bring MOUZ NXT to 6, and well, Astralis Talent will have for another buy. They won the previous round with pistols, upgraded to a lot of free guns thanks to MOUZ, so they have now enough money to go for another one, but we're back to the same old, not looking the greatest on the T side.
Well, this is looking pretty bleak, I'd say. Their utility right now, as you can see it, is pretty much non-existent. They've got 2 smokes and 4 flashbangs. They have already utilized 2 more smokes additionally, and are left with 1 over Sui and Exertion. They control this angle, and this is perfect. They stop the rotation through main, and what do you do now as Astralis talent? You have no entry through main. You didn't time yourself up through Hut or Squeaky, and unfortunately you leave yourself open for these kind of aggressions, microaggressions, if you will. You said it well, you know, MOUZ NXT is like, okay, we're losing on the defense, let's go on the offense, and they prove themselves right, and they absolutely destroy Astralis talent in the process. I honestly have a few doubts about any more rounds even being able to be gotten by Astralis talent. I mean, the odds themselves speak for themselves, and this is looking solid as hell here for MOUZ.
Exactly. As soon as you spot a couple of those players coming through main, you know that the rest of them are at least planned to go towards the A side from lobby. So there's the reaction, the mollies come in flying, and there's no chance for Astralis talent who, even in a 3v5, get attacked basically by MHL from ramp. And of course the odds, they gotta be favoring MOUZ. It's 7-4. The CT side is looking better. You mentioned it, I think, once or twice before. Their nuke hasn't been the best results-wise previously, but at the same time, MOUZ hadn't played an official game in like 3 weeks or something. Yeah, the last official game they had was back in February, so that was the grand finals of the
Academy, right?
Yeah, that they won. So there was plenty of time to, you know, improve their map pool, because that's one thing that is kind of lacking, because they are insta-vetoing overpass. Nuke has to be better than what was shown so far, and if they had 3 weeks to spare, I would say Nuke was definitely one of the things to work at. What the hell happened with the smokes?
Again, this is not the first time we see the smokes either being lacking or, you know, missing, or perhaps just being cancelled out. But again, 2 smokes in the same position. It seems like Astralis is kind of being pressured a little bit too much, and their hands are shaking. They're making mistakes that usually you wouldn't see from their players. So I really hope this is not the case, because then basically MOUZ is already 1 step across the victory line in any case. And again, pistols and Kevlar, dangerous combo that you can absolutely utilize. You just gotta make the right decision into where you will hit, and already down secret they go. And it looks like they might be interested in taking that B control, but ramp is vital. 3 players are going to be coming through ramp. If they die, then the 2 players that are going to be down on B are going to be pretty much without support and hope. And a team kill even. Oh no. Oh, yeah. Not even a
team kill
plan.
to make it even more painful, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the problem that I'm seeing right now for Astralis, is unfortunately their plans, while solid in theory, they're just not able to get it in action, and that smoke miss again just proves that they are under pressure.
Yeah. And it leads to basically just like all around the bad feeling. You pick the map, you had a lead, then you lost it, and all of a sudden you're losing, you're a map down, and you're missing smokes, making silly mistakes that you shouldn't really be making. You're better than this, and it all just mounts up, and you know, it's not the greatest of feelings. Shane will go down for the 2nd or 3rd time now. He's attempting this cut push, and so far he has been successful, so can't blame him, but Altex was in the spot. MHL will take out Vigo. Again, trying to test MHL on yard without the smokes this time around is not something I would suggest, but Vigo will learn that the hard way. Back to the 4v4 Vigo.
And another scary notion is the fact that, you know, we see this aggression towards the outside of main once again. If it fails, that's, you know, another round that's pretty much gone. As MOUZ, now they might not be aware, because I kind of like where Astralis is going with this plan. They've got 2 players embedded into Garage and now in towards Hell Heaven. So if they play their cards right, they could get away with this. But JDC pushes ramp, gets the kill on Altex, and they'll realize, yo, lobby's empty. Catch the players in the back, and they will catch Berzer. And that's the problem that, you know, kind of Astralis are facing continuously. They get a little bit of piece of land, but lose a completely different part of the map, and all of a sudden, you know, their plans are revealed on the board. And Exertion, I mean, sure enough, Shui is lost, but the damage is there, the kills are there, and so is the round. 9-4. And we're coming to a pretty much dead stop for Astralis and their momentum. Their initial start was good, but seemingly losing themselves in I don't know, in their minds. I'm not really sure what exactly the problem is internally, but externally we can see they're making not only mistakes with utility, but also not hitting their shots at the end of the day.
Another full buy round, another chance. You really should be getting at least, like I would say, 5, maybe even 6 on the T side. MOUZ, if they get up to 11, I would say this could be an insurmountable lead for their opponent. Suhi finds the first kill. Even Suhi with the M4 is not shy of peeking towards yard, not shy of any duels. Now they realize Mr. is there. Need to be careful because there's a player coming from main. Vigo gets the one from the lurk position, and again Vigo, and he knows where the next player is, but there's the 4th player in the defenses of the A side. Berzer knows that the off angle is from Sersha is utilized, but can't do anything about it. MOUZ NXT is proving that they're just on another level.
Yep, just that much better. Unfortunately for Astralis talent, MOUZ NXT is just right now too good, too strong, I can even say, and the outcome of this series might have already been decided before we even stepped into this one, because MOUZ is simply put on another level, as you said. I mean, Astralis talent, they had a chance even on Mirage. Unfortunately, their biggest chance was here on Nuke, but then again, those Tech 9s, those Mech 10s, again, pushing in towards A, they might be able to work something into this. There's definitely a possibility they do get those kills, and the 5th round potentially being picked up, or is it? Look at the denial, Shane with a double, and the Berzer with the lurk. It's far too late to make a difference now, and I can't see this going anywhere but the way for MOUZ NXT. Shane, he's keeping an eye out, and well, yeah.
I would call it a desperation A push. When you don't know what else you could do to win a round, you go for something like this, and it kind of worked at the beginning, but then the reaction of MOUZ NXT, we've seen it already this whole first half, even sometimes on Mirage, they're not respecting their opponent at least. You know, going for all those fights, going for the retake even before the bomb plant went down, and winning the 11th round. Now only 5 rounds to go to secure the victory here. A bunch of utility for MOUZ NXT, and it seems like it's going to be a straight up A-rush.
Oh, Vigo again, double for him. That's good. That's looking much better than what we expected. The A-rush not really working as well as MOUZ might have thought, and now they're pulling back. They seem to have an eye on towards that ramp spot, and that's certainly not a bad idea, but unfortunately losing Shane and being left with Suhi without Kevlar is going to be a problem. But oh my god, is he actually going to get away? No, he's not going to. Oh, no! Oh, no! Berzer, no! Don't tell me. Okay, he doesn't die at least. That's the one thing, but still, the plant is there. That's more than enough for MOUZ, if you ask me.
Sure, Suhi. Couple of low HP players. The bomb will be defused. Mr. is on the bomb, I believe, and he has a defuse, so Suhi doesn't really have the time to play with. But MOUZ did get the bomb down, and just like, who was it, Tricked or Young Ninjas in the previous nuke we watched, just a slightly missed smoke towards main, and that's all Vigo needed to get a couple of kills, and that's actually what kind of won the round there for Astralis talent. If he doesn't get those kills, I'm pretty sure that one player in the side gets overwhelmed, and, well, it's a round for MOUZ NXT, or at least bomb plant on the A side with all the control. That doesn't happen. They only get a bomb plant towards B and kind of miscommunicate, I would say, on the T spawn. Shane wastes all, or not waste, but uses all of his money, while the rest of the team goes for some sort of a half buy, so not really on the same page here, MOUZ NXT.
Yeah, seems like they are perhaps a little bit too focused on their win from the first half, that they're kind of losing themselves, you know, maybe talking a little bit over each other too much, not really communicating the way you would imagine them. As Berzer already takes down the first, the round is pretty much gone here, or at least I would imagine so. Shane, at least a nice one shot, but again, the damage is there, and without Kevlar, without actual buy, this round is, or should be, as we see now, gone. But honestly, MOUZ only care about the gun round here. That's why they go for the eco. They know they have the advantage. There's no reason to press the attack. There's no reason to, you know, put out all of their economy.
Suki, he ran back to check if there's any nades left by his teammates behind him, and then when he saw that there's nothing, he threw a C4 at him.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's not a bad idea either. If you're lucky, maybe it explodes in the air, you know?
Yeah, I mean, why don't you try shoot at it? Maybe it does something. But all jokes aside, it's a full buy round coming in. Unfortunately for Shane, he can only go for a Mac 10 now, but still, a Mac 10 could do work in a good position. Maybe, you know, if you put him in a good lurk position, or if he finds Mister, he doesn't have any head Kevlar, so maybe that's a kill where Shane upgrades to an M4 or something like that. Astralis Talent, worried about potential A rush, will use their utility like they should. Smokes come in for MOUZ NXT. This time around, it seems like there's no missed smokes, no gaps, and there are two players advancing towards the position of Vigo.
I kind of like how Astralis is set up here. They've got a very good defense for A prepared. They've got a little bit of response towards B as well, and they are aware that Secret had been lost, so the response is going to be in time. I believe there's somebody towards... No, nobody in vents, but Fesser is close enough to vents that he can potentially get in there. Ooh, that made sound, so Zershin definitely heard that. Or at least, if he had been paying attention, he heard it. Ooh, that's a problem. Now, Shui, he does get killed in turn, but he did get Fesser. That's the player that was close towards vents, and if Astralis doesn't lose another player too quickly, that's going to be too much chaos for them to handle, as Zershin finds both, and now A side is wide open, as Altix is on B, but his reaction, or more specifically his rotation, could be easily denied if he goes vents. Through ramp, goodbye Berzer, and MOUZ NXT are back in action almost instantaneously in the gun round, in the first gun round of the second half. And this is horrible for Astralis Talent, unfortunately. Altix needs to pull some sort of a magic hat trick 4K, basically, to try and save this.
Exactly. To be honest, I'm not a fan of rounds like this, but when it works, it's perfect. And I'm not a fan because more often than not, these rounds fall apart for many teams, many better teams than MOUZ NXT, but they played it perfectly. They sent two guys secret and they announced their presence with the Molotov towards office. Then in comes the fake towards the A site, and I believe Suki coming back from secret. So all of a sudden, Astralis Talent are thinking, okay, that they are faking A, and they will most probably go towards ramp. And then it comes the fake towards ramp, and then another player comes from secret. So a pretty complicated round for MOUZ NXT because you are doing so much across the map. There's plenty of chances for something to go wrong, and that's why I dislike rounds like these. But when it works, you can just see Astralis Talent completely lost, not really knowing what to expect next. And well, MOUZ NXT, that was pretty on point, I would say. Even if Suki goes back from secret and dies after just a single kill, he did his job. He basically faked the A site, or faked the fake. I don't know how to even say it, because MOUZ NXT, that was some next level stuff, you could say.
Absolutely, like as you said, right? They might have made a complicated plan that could have been a bigger mess than it actually was, but it works out, and as long as it works out, it's fine. And we can see here the eco for Astralis Talent, unfortunately, it's not going to have any consequence at all. That's pretty much it for round number 19. We will be seeing quite a heavy advance in favor of MOUZ NXT, and all of a sudden, you know, what's the reaction, or more specifically, what's the answer here from Astralis Talent? I would say maybe a double up could be an answer to their trouble, something that we haven't really seen today at all. And I'm not going to say that's an answer, a global answer to everything, but sometimes you might want to try it just because you can surprise your opponent, and then basically they scramble for an answer for like 2-3 rounds in a row, and there's always a possibility of that.
Yeah. It's not going to be a double up. I don't think if they even had enough money. but I would like to see maybe a player starting secret early on in the round from the CT side. So even if they go for the yard smokes and go for the secret play, you have someone to at least delay their attack towards B, or go for the aggressive. There we go. Vigo gets a couple flashes from Berzer, peeks out, gets the kill. Even a fight against JDC maybe could have just taken the safe route close to main entrance and get out and remain that man advantage. JDC, yes, he's down to 11 HP, but now he brings it back into a 4v4, so a nice plan from Astralis Talent. I was thinking something like a yard aggression or that player starting from secret, but okay. Berzer with the help of Fessor also pushing Squeaky, getting them a kill. Astralis Talent definitely do something, you know, don't allow him to plan out the whole map. Try and play just like this. Fessor with the aggressive position as well. Trying to surprise him. Don't give MOUZ just all the freedom on the map. That's what they exactly needed. MHL will bring one back. So some sort of a chance here for MHL and JDC. They have plenty of time, but they are a man down and have, what, 54 HP combined. Not looking likely. The flash is good. And they reveal the position of the AWP player. And I am pretty sure they knew that Fessor is somewhere towards the team end. So all of a sudden, MOUZ is collecting info and is booking it towards ramp.
They've got to deal with Altex, and surely they'll expect somebody to be there, but they will not be expecting his timing, and, well, that's beautifully done. Altex, he should be able to secure the W here by himself almost, and yep, there we go. Wins the last duel as well. Astralis Talent, as I said, the gun round is what they need to pick up, and now they can't really stop this at all. I mean, they can't stop at just the one round. They need, I would dare say, if they can get up to, let's say, what, 11, 12 rounds to at least close the gap to a 1 or 2 remaining, then I could see them making a comeback. Otherwise, I'm fairly certain there is very little to no chance left in the reservoir for them.
And the job gets even tougher because not only do they have to, you know, string a lot of rounds here on the CT side, they also need to keep in mind they have to keep the economy going. You have to have some clean rounds because the worst thing that can happen here for Astralis is like they get to 13, maybe 10, and all of a sudden MOUZ find themselves up to 14 and you're out of cash. That is the worst case scenario where you feel like, you know, we're in the game, we definitely have our chance, and all of a sudden one reset and there's not much we can do because there's not much economy we can fight with against the T's. But let's first things first, see if they can string a couple of rounds together on the CT side. Yard completely open. And MOUZ NXT is getting a lot of free real estate.
Oh, boy. You talked about map control earlier, about how much, you know, it's important for Astralis Talent to not let this one be taken easily by MOUZ, or at least be, you know, in the hands of MOUZ. That simple. And unfortunately, they still keep on doing the same mistake over and over again. It feels like we're watching Mirage again, just the difference being now they're on the CT instead of the T side. Oh, the timing here, Shui. His position is just beautiful and unfortunately surprises both players, as Fessor is kind of prepared for him but can't take the kill, as Vigo on side is pretty much at death end, well, at the death door. Altex is going to be late for the relocation, or at least for the rotation, and that's pretty much it. A 1v4. Unfortunately for Astralis Talent, this will also mean the end of their economy, and again, map control is key in this map, especially on the outside of Nuke. You know, if you wanna prevent this from happening, you need to somehow keep an eye out on that Gara's held position. Otherwise, you might as well concede the round itself. There we go.
Altex with desperation 1v3 doesn't really happen, and this is exactly the scenario I was talking about. The previous round that they won, they survived with what, 2 players, 3 players? Yeah. And even that is not enough. They're completely reset, and now it's pick your poison time for Astralis Talent. You either force by basically twice, or you go for an eco, give them 8 match rounds, and I don't blame him. Fessor already decided, the rest of them followed. They will be forcing up 5 Deagles, some utility, you know, try and connect some of the Deagles, maybe bring back, if you win, bring back some of that momentum. If you lose this, it's then, again, 8 match points for MOUZ, and your economy is not going to get any better. So I can't blame them from going for a force buy here, but for sure, like, they have deep yard smokes MOUZ NXT, and the only player that is kind of covering for yard is your Opper in Windows.
Yeah.
That's just not good enough. Like we've seen the previous round, Vigo goes for the aggressive towards the red container on yard. It doesn't need to be that aggressive, but it needs to be more than just that passive setup of an AWP.
Yeah, I agree. And also, you know, the danger is if you're in Windows, you can easily be flanked from two sides.
Yeah.
While in Heaven, you have that way back into a site and you're in the safety of your teammates. But again, unfortunately, you also got to hit those shots. In any case, Deagles, 2 smokes, 3 flashbangs, a defuse kit at least on Vigo. So there is a lifeline that they are kind of clutching onto, but this is their last straw. This is it. You know, this is the straw that's going to break the camel's back, sort of to say. Lose this round and you pretty much lose this game. It's as simple as that. You lose this series. I like this push into lobby. They're trying to get info, but look at how passive MOUZ is playing. They're so well aware of what is coming their way that they will not let these Deagles get any sort of drop on their players.
They are eager to fight against them, so there's a chance here for Astralis Talent. They get the 1 kill, but the setup is just too strong. Fesser, I don't think they know about him. He's the second player coming out of hut. Now he will announce himself to the headshot. I was thinking maybe now they can hear him burning in the Molotov. Berser, what the hell was that? And now focused onto yard. That's a bomb dropped in squeaky position as well. So he will take down Berser, so still a chance here, but every single angle there could be a potential Deagle around it. They know about Fesser, but they don't know about Vigo. I don't think they know he pushed ramp.
Doesn't seem like that's the case. Yeah, Fesser and Vigo. Oh, no. Now Shui and Exertion come at the right time.
We're really trying, man. We're really trying to sell the scenario where they get the round, but...
Yeah, but, you know, we got to be realistic as well. You know, there's no point in sugarcoating this. The advantage is clear. The better team is MOUZ. Astralis Talent is trying. Their Mirage was already a disappointment on the T side, and unfortunately, it seems to be much the same here on Nuke. And I want to touch on the subject that you mentioned earlier. I mean, MOUZ haven't been playing officials for like 2 or 3 weeks. And that's enough time to get a good default going for Nuke, get some preparations going for Nuke. So, you know, this is basically potentially Astralis thinking, okay, Nuke is our map, easy. Well, no, it's not even close. And oh my god, the timings, the plays, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, a lot of things need to go wrong right now for MOUZ to lose this one. JDC with another kill, only 2 players remaining in front of MOUZ and their victory. Vigo, one of them, with the Deagle, has been exceptional, I would say, with the Dig in hand, but even him cannot stop this, and I love this from MOUZ. Even though they're full of confidence, even though victory is right there for the taking, they're still taking it slow and giving little to no chance for a Deagle player like Vigo, who will get taken out. Mr. is flanking, but this is looking done and dusted. Yuki for the last kill. Exactly. It will be MOUZ NXT winning 2-0.
And they will finish this one off in style. First map 16-9, second map 16-7. And they make it look easy here on their T side of Nuke, honestly. I mean, what we saw 2 rounds go to Astralis... No, 3 rounds, excuse me, go to Astralis Talent, right? If I'm calculating correctly. 11-4 in the half. And then the pistol that went to Astralis Talent. And that's pretty much all there was to it. They pretty much got destroyed. Unfortunately, you know, they're going to have to take the L. First week of the main Swiss stage. It's not the end of the world, is it, though?
Yeah, I mean, looking at the bracket now, we have a couple of teams now standing out, right, with Tricked winning earlier in the morning, and of course on the B stream we had Eternal Fire and Wisla Krakow getting their wins. That also means we have some of the players, some of the teams, excuse me, knocked to the bottom of the table, but still plenty of games to go. Of course, the Swiss system here in the Pinnacle Winter Series Swiss stage, main Swiss stage, with if you get 3 wins, you go through. If you lose 3 times, you are out. So on the one side, Astralis Talent, the same goes for Young Ninjas. There is time to, you know, bounce back. Unfortunately, I think that's the biggest loss, honestly, when you are playing tournaments like these, is where, if I'm not mistaken, when you lose, you're guaranteed to play in the morning, right?
Yeah. I think that's
Yeah,
the case.
that's the toughest part, I think. So, I mean, with these wins today, MOUZ NXT, Tricked, you kind of allow yourself a better sleeping schedule, I would say, and you get a good chance of course, going through. And talking about the match, I mean, MOUZ NXT, I think we hit the nail on the head when we said they definitely improved their nuke. This looking much better than at least what the results say. And to be honest, with what they've shown and what we've seen from Trek, who knows? Maybe that's the potential matchup for tomorrow from the winners. And I would love to see the nuke between those two teams.
You're actually, you kind of took the words out of my mouth. I'm excited to see MOUZ progressing forward into the main Swiss stage, and even Tricked that I didn't have as much belief in them until I saw them play. And I'm kind of excited to see what they'll bring to us, of course, in the coming days. Now, for anybody just tuning in, welcome. We're not done for the day. We've got 2 more best of 3s coming here on the main stream, and of course 2 more on the second stream as well. So there are quite a few games to be had. Additionally, myself and Swoich will be back tomorrow morning at 9 and of course at 12, so make sure you tune in then as well. Until then, we've had a good time. I think we've enjoyed it as much as we could, as much as the games allowed it. And yeah, basically that's it from my side. Swoich, I'll let you have the closing statement here.
Yeah, pretty much that would be it for this morning. We'll be back with the action tomorrow morning, me and Overseer. So we'll be seeing you tomorrow morning for the next couple of games. It will be still interesting, so stay tuned. There's plenty of Counter-Strike coming your way.
Any clue that I can to know what's inside, so I couldn't really contain myself, but I am here now to share these things with you, and let's jump straight in. So first up, we have the beautiful 10 keyless K4 RGB Entropiq keyboard, an absolute beaut of a keyboard. I love the 10 keyless as well. I'm a fiend when it comes to LAN. I've got my arm all the way out, so a nightmare to play with. So to have the smaller keyboard, I think is certainly going to be making all the people I play with a lot happier. It's also got the red mechanical switches, which my neighbors prefer. Everybody knows red is the best mechanical switches, and so it's equipped with the best, as you would expect from Entropiq. There we go, get a look at the keyboard. Pop it down over here. Alright, Up next, in the box of tricks, we do have the Xtrfy GP4 mouse pad with some incredible designs. I love it when we see some creative freedom coming through with these peripherals as well, and I mean a mouse pad's the perfect place to do it because it's almost just a perfect canvas, and here we go. Stitched edges with the rubber base, or should I say the non-slip rubber base. Remember, all of this amazing gear from Xtrfy you can get in on as well from the Xtrfy store. Get it from the Xtrfy store at xtrfy.com. If you use the code WINTER10, you can get a 10% discount on any of the stuff they have in the store. So be sure to get in on that. Okay, that's not going to stay there. Now, the part that gets me the most excited as the commentator is the phenomenal pair of Xtrfy H1 Pro Gaming headphones. Oh my god, what a set of beautiful headphones these are. That packaging just gives me that feeling, that gorgeous feeling of quality. And that's what you want when you buy yourself something, you know, you invest in some quality products and you feel like you get that quality in turn. So here we go. Is the H1 headphones with the onboard USB sound card as well, and they are incredibly comfortable. I can confirm, put them on and they are just they fit like a beautiful pair of gloves. So I think I'm going to keep that around my neck for now. It does come with the extended cable as well, just to make sure that you don't get caught up. And then, as I said, there are the two different microphones. If I did say, I might not have, but as a commentator, this is wonderful. You get two different microphones that you can choose between. So great headset coming through from Xtrfy, the H1 Pro Gaming headset. Put that over there. And then we still have two goodies left in the box. Last but not one of the penultimate item, should I say, is the Xtrfy M4 mouse. It is a wireless gaming mouse, obviously with the GG button X. It's a good game and just beats everybody. Xtrfy in the business at the best. Fantastic mouse, weighs 72 grams, ridiculously light. It's going to feel like it's not going to do anything for me. 72 grams, it's got up to 75 hours worth of battery life. So yeah, incredible from Xtrfy. Just pushing the envelope when it comes to peripherals, as we always expect out of that. So there we go. Last but not least, to make sure when I'm charging my brand new wireless mouse, I don't get caught up when I'm flicking, fragging, doing all the damage. I now have the wonderful Xtrfy V4 mouse bungee with the silicone arm as well to ensure that you've got maximum maneuverability. It's also got that non-stick rubber base, non-slip rubber base, should I say. So there we go, Xtrfy. Thank you so much for all the wonderful gear. You guys can get in on this amazing gear as well. If you head to xtrfy.com, use the code WINTER10, you'll get that 10% discount. And remember, to support the event that they are running, the wonderful partners of the Pinnacle Winter Series, head over to twitch.tv/CCT_EN and you can get in on all the action. From myself, Hayes, I'll catch you guys next time.